Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Srimad Puramansaparipataka Ashtottara Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Kund Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Gangamai Ki Jai, Jamunamai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Maharaj, and thank you everyone for joining us for Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Monday, October 31st in New York, and we are reading in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. Tonight we're starting with verse number 21. Eager to hear your comments and questions as always, and please lead tonight's closing kirtan if you would like also. And we're very lucky to have you with us tonight, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Akendra Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And thank you to all. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yanna Bhipadma Pavanadahamas Lokatrayo Pakarano Yadanu Grahina Tasmai Namas Udarasta Pavaya Yoga Nidravasana Vikasan Naline Kshanaya. O object of my worship, I am born from the house of your lotus navel for the purpose of creating the universe by your mercy. All these planets of the universe were stationed within your transcendental abdomen while you were enjoying sleep. Now, your sleep having ended, your eyes are open like blossoming lotuses in the morning. Purport. Brahma is teaching us the beginning of Archana regulations from morning, 4 o'clock, to night, 10 o'clock. Early in the morning, the devotee has to rise from his bed and pray to the Lord. And there are other regulative principles for offering Mangal Arati early in the morning. Foolish non-devotees, not understanding the importance of Archana, criticize the regulative principles, but they have no eyes to see that the Lord also sleeps by his own will. The impersonal conception of the Supreme is so detrimental to the path of devotional service that it is very difficult to associate with the stubborn non-devotees who always think in terms of material conceptions. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Viditaya Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatbhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kamshana Gaulangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yannabi Padma Bhavanadam Asmirjya Lokatrayopakarano Yadanugrahena Tasmai Namasta Udarasta Pavaya Yoga Nidra Vasana Vikasan Nalinakshanaya. Lord Brahma is praying to the worshipable Lord Idya. I'm born from your lotus navel, Yannabi Padma Bhavana, from the home of your lotus navel. Why? Lokatraya Upakarana. Upakarana means the assistant cause. Karan means cause, upakaran, secondary cause or assistant cause. Lokatraya, for the creation of the three worlds. Yadanugrahena, not independently, but by your mercy, I want to be able to assist in creating the three worlds. Visarga. Sarga means creation of the basic constituents, elements of cosmic manifestation. And then Visarga, Brahma's business, is to craft the details of the cosmic manifestation, engineering, as it were. So the Brahma appeal to the Lord in the morning as the deity that served. So Brahma's approaching the Lord in that way. And the Srila Prabhupada speaks about the impersonalists who don't appreciate the God and who always have an argumentative or stubborn approach because of their material. Impersonalists always think backwards. They think that because there's form in matter, spirit should be formless. Because in matter there's sleep, in spirit, and because the sleeping of the deity is accepted in Archana worship, the Archana is Maya. All these thoughts are basically material. To think either positively or negatively is still thinking materially. The Mayavadi, the materialists, simply accept the material manifestation as everything. And the impersonalists reject the material manifestation and reject everything. Their conception of the absolute is that the absolute must be the opposite of the relative. So anything they see that's relative, they negate. No, not this, not this, not this, not this. But they have no positive information. And so they're negating. They involve throwing out the baby with the bathwater. They throw out forms, but all forms. Not only material personality, but all personality. And so they are essentially relative to their conception of the absolute is relative to conception. Knowledge accepted from the superior source of the Vedas is standard. Here in these verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that Archana is recommended. Before Brahma took up the task of creation, he found the Lord sleeping on the serpent bed in the waves of the water of devastation. Therefore, sleeping exists in the internal potency of the Lord. And this is not denied by pure devotees of the Lord, like Brahma and his disciplic succession. It is clearly said here that the Lord slept very happily within the violent waves of the water, manifesting thereby that he's able to do anything and everything by his transcendental will and not be hampered by any circumstances. The Mayavadi cannot think beyond this material experience, and thus he denies the Lord's ability to sleep within the water. His mistake is that he compares the Lord to himself, and that comparison is also a material thought. The whole philosophy of the Mayavad school, that neti, is basically material. Such thought cannot give one the chance to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is. Neti is the impersonalist approach, not iti, not this, not that. Not not form, not quality, not this, not that. It's a negative approach. So that negative approach may free us from attachment to direct material illusion. But it tricks us another way, because we reject spiritual variety and end up in the impersonal soup. All right. Are there some questions or comments? Yes, Kendra Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I so much appreciate Prabhupada really pointing out so clearly that whether you're thinking positively or negatively, it's all material, because you're just operating on your own idea, and you're not getting knowledge from any place higher. It's just within your own mind. This section of the verses and purports reminds me of a story Rabindra Swarup Prabhu likes to tell of early on in Philadelphia. He was establishing temple worship there, and I think maybe a local rabbi visited the temple during the hours during which the deity was sleeping. And Rabindra Swarup Prabhu was explaining to the rabbi this, and the rabbi just couldn't take it. He said, "God never sleeps." And with such an idea, how can you have the opportunity to serve in all the ways that devotees serve the deity?
I don't know much about Jewish theology, but I do know that the medieval, I believe, philosopher Moses Maimonides, who's much revered in Jewish thought, is really adamant in the views of impersonalism. If God is a person, then he would have to be localized, and that would make him material. He's in a particular place and not in other places, and so on. So he's really speculating away, and as you say, it doesn't have a higher source of understanding about the personality of Godhead. Thank you for that, Kendra. Yes, that was Prabhupada's focus, that either positive or negative, it's all material. Saraswati.
Pranam Param Pujya Maharaj. Maharaj, I want to recall the first time I even heard the Mayavadi philosophy. My father came back from India very excited, full of enthusiasm after, I don't know who he had heard from, but he was raving about Krishnamurti, and he was talking about how, like all tributaries of rivers or water, they all enter the ocean. We all become merged into this one supreme being. And I thought my mother would be happy that my father had finally taken an interest in religion. But one look from her and we knew that he was in serious trouble, because she got this black crayon and got paper and drew this big black blob. And she said, "Oh, we become this big black blob." And my father was like dumbfounded, and he said, "Well, that's all dark and black, and we become something beautiful. We all merge into this one and become so beautiful." So my mother said, "Oh, what color crayon would you like me to use to draw the blob then?" And of course he didn't know what to say, but my mother said, "Everybody follow me." We went into the puja room, and then she pointed to Srinathji, and she rarely referred to him as Srinathji. She would always say, "Maravala Jasodana Lala," my dearest, who is the beloved child of Yashoda. That's how she used to refer to him. So she said, and how does he fit into this blob? Because my father really didn't have very much to say. And my mother said, you tell me, where does he fit into this big blob, this supreme being? And then, in the end, she said, "Okay, let's go over some basics." And I thought this would give me a chance to earn some bonus points with my mother. So she said, "What color is he?" So I said, "Oh, he's the color as Yamuna Ma." And I said, oh, rather Yamunama is the same color as him. And my mother's like, that's okay. You got the right bodily color. What does he like? So each of her children, we said, oh, he likes makhan. He likes to graze cows. He likes his Sakha friends. And so my mother's like, okay, yes, that's right. And I thought I could earn some extra points. And I said, but he dislikes demons and non-devotees. And my mother said, no, he doesn't, because we're all a part of him, but he dislikes what non-devotees and demons do. She said he doesn't like what they do, but he doesn't dislike them. So that was good that she separated the actions from the person. And then in the end, I remember my sister chiming in, oh, I don't want to become a blob of anything, Mom. We'll just continue to be caregivers of Srinathji. And then she looked at my father and she said, you hurt me so much today, because prior to that, she'd always been submissive to him. And even if they had disagreements, we never heard about them. We were never aware of them. It must have been kept really private. But when she looked at him, she said, you hurt me so much today with what you've come back home telling us all these things. This is completely wrong. We are an individual. Lord Krishna, he's an individual, and we're his servants. And don't you dare try to confuse all of that. So I think she set my father right, because we never heard him preach or get excited about Mayavadi philosophy thereafter. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai. All right, shall we push forward? Soyam samasta jagatam suradeka atma satvena yan hridayate bhagavan bhagena Tenaiva medrishamanu prashatad yataham shakshami purvavadidam pranata vyosav. Let the Supreme Lord be merciful. He is the one friend and soul of all living entities in the world. And he maintains all for their ultimate happiness by his 6 transcendental opulences. May he be merciful toward me, so that I, as before, may be empowered with the introspection to create. For I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord. Purport. The Supreme Lord, Purushottam, or Sri Krishna, is the maintainer of all in both the transcendental and material worlds. He is the friend of all because there's eternally natural affection and love between the living entities and the Lord. He is the one friend and well-wisher for all, and he is one without a second. The Lord maintains all the living entities everywhere by his 6 transcendental opulences, for which he is known as Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma prayed for his mercy so that he might be able to create the universal affairs as he did before. Only by the Lord's causeless mercy could he create both material and spiritual personalities, like Marichi and Narada, respectively. Brahma prayed to the Lord because he's very much dear to the surrendered soul. The surrendered soul knows nothing but the Lord, and therefore the Lord is very affectionate toward him. Soyam samasta jagatam eka atma. The Lord is the one friend and philosopher and maintainer of all living beings. Eko bhavantati kama. Samasta jagatam, of the whole, of all the universes, Prabhupada says. He is the life and soul, the Atma of everything and everyone. Satvena yat mridiyate. Bhagavan Agena. The Lord is completely in the mode of goodness, although he supervises the affairs of passion and ignorance. He's always in pure goodness, which is transcendental. And he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. Mridayate, he gives happiness to everyone, materially and spiritually. Tina, Eva, me, Drisham, he gives me the power of introspection. Theoretical knowledge will not be sufficient. Drisha means vision, introspection. Yes. Kalo nashtra drisha mesha puranarko dinodita. In Kali Yuga, people have lost their vision, nashtra drisha, as in darkness. And therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam provides light for the world. So Brahma is praying for vision. The theoretical outline.
Then you're opposing.
But to see things factually by power of introspection. Well, introspection is not denied, but introspection unaided will not be very effective, or introspection without the mercy of the Lord will not be very effective. But with the mercy of Krishna, one's introspection can be successful. It hum shrakshami purvavadidam anata. I want to create the world as it was. Well, today is a new day. Let's do a new universe in a new fashion. Prabhupada condemned the Western mentality. He quoted one poem, a song by one Mr. Roy, that walk on your hands, but somehow or other do something new. Do something new. And the Prabhupada said that's our Western disease. We always want to do something new. The deity worship, we'll concoct something, whatever it is. We don't want to just stick to the old standard. We have to concoct something new. So Brahma is not looking to show his creativity by concocting a new and innovative universe, Purvavad, as it was before. What is that? Maya Teja Yoga Prokta Puratana. Krishna said, I'm speaking to you
Hare Krishna, everyone. Ekendra Das here. I've been in contact with Prabeen Prabhu, who's there with Maharaj. I think they're trying to find a better hotspot, a better wireless connection for Maharaj's computer. He just dipped out for a minute there and he got frozen, so we're just waiting for him to get back on. I think he's back now.
My apologies, I got dumped by from Zoom. I switched devices.
How is that?
Hmm?
If you can ask how.
I hope this is okay now, the reception. If it's not, someone please give a holler. Yeah, I think we're okay now. The only thing now is because I'm on my phone, I can't see who's raising their hands. So I could use some help for that.
Okay, Maharaj, no problem.
Very much. So, pranata, I'm surrendered. I don't have to do something independent, show my own prowess, make my own program. What you want, Yateshtasya Tathakuru. What you want me to do, that's what I'll do. That's surrender. So Brahma's the surrendered soul, and therefore also he's here to the Lord. Brahma seeks to be empowered to create. He's not looking for an independent career. He's looking to serve. All right. Are there any comments or questions here? Okay. The Vishwanath says that by his 6 qualities, his transcendental qualities, by a small portion of his sattva qualities, may he protect my material wisdom, and by a portion of his spiritual qualities, nourish my spiritual wisdom. Esha prapanna varado ramayatma shaktya yad karishtati grihita gunavatara tasmin svavikramamidam vijatopi cheto yunjita karma shamalam chayata vijayasham. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency, Rama, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world. And I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator. Purport. In the matter of material creation, maintenance, and destruction, there are 3 incarnations of the material modes of nature: Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. But the Lord's incarnation as Vishnu in his internal potency is the supreme energy for the total activities. Brahma was only an assistant in the modes of creation, wanted to remain in his actual position as an instrument of the Lord, instead of becoming puffed up by the false prestige of thinking himself the creator. That is the way of becoming dear to the Supreme Lord and receiving his benediction. Foolish men want to take credit for all creations made by them. But intelligent persons know very well that not a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. Thus, all the credit for wonderful creations must go to him. By spiritual consciousness only can one be free from the contamination of material affection and receive benedictions offered by the Lord. Esha prapanna vadada ramaya atma shaktya. So I'm surrendered, prapanna, to Varada, the giver of blessings. Vara means blessings, and one who gives. So the Lord is Varadaraj, the supreme giver of all blessings. And Ramaya Atma Shaktya. Whatever he does by his internal potency. Even the external potency, Maya, is the shadow of the internal potency. I think I've told before that when Srila Prabhupada initiated one of our god sisters and gave her the name Mahamaya, and all the devotees laughed. Don't laugh. He said, Maya is another face of Srimati Radharani. So the external potency also, it's Janurupam, Chayeva yes, Bhuvanani Viparti Durga. The external potency is the shadow of the, or a portion of the internal potency. So the Lord is always enjoying with his internal potency, Lakshmi Devi, Atma Shakya, his own internal potency. Yad Yad Karishati Grihita Gunavatar. So it's the Lord finally who's in charge of passion, goodness, and ignorance. But the Brahma wants to act under the direction of the Lord. Svavikramam idam srijata api yunjita karma shamalam cha yata vijahyam. So I want to be engaged in the work of creation. That's my service. But creation means passion. Creation means the mode of passion. In the mode of passion, one becomes attached, and one develops a false sense of material prestige. So Brahma is praying that I want to do this work for you, but Shamalam Vijahyam, I also want to be free from material contamination. I don't want to do it and see how powerful I am. The most pious living entity is allowed to become Lord Brahma. So this Brahma wants to be a surrendered soul and carry out his service with full cognizance that whatever I'm able to do, I'm able to do just by the mercy of Krishna. Nimitta matra of a Sabyasachi. Lord Krishna told Arjuna, you just become my instrument. I've already killed you. You just become my instrument. Bhishma, Drona, Jayādvaita, and other fighters. Mayahata, Mahibha, Krishna, Nimitta. I've already done it. You just become my agent. So Brahma wants to serve in that spirit as the agent of the Lord, and in that way be unaffected by material contamination. As soon as we think, I did it, it's my credit, then we're contaminated by mine. But when we realize that only Krishna's mercy that makes everything possible, then we enter into the mood, the pure devotee. The pure devotee see only by Krishna's grace that anything can be done. All right. Any comments or questions here?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I had a comment on this because, as you've pointed out so nicely, Lord Brahma is the most pious living entity as well as the most powerful, and he's showing by example how to give credit where it's due. I've often seen that in the world of entertainment or the arts, it becomes such a common thing to see great creative people who are also of an atheistic mentality, because, as you pointed out, there's the motive passion, there's the desire to take credit and to become attached, and it's almost as if the activity of being creative is itself intoxicating, that it gives you the sense of yourself as a creator, and you become in love with your own creation, and you can't bring yourself often to give credit as Brahma is doing where it's due. So that's why he's praying this way. I like how explicit he's making his prayers, that in spite of the fact that I'm creating, please let me not be materially affected.
Creative people, financial wizards, politicians, really anyone who gets some power can fall into the trap of thinking it's because of me. It's my credit. There's a Christian prayer, non nobis Domine, non nobis, sed nomine tua da gloria. May the credit not be mine. It's not our credit, non nobis Domine, O Lord. But may your holy name be glorified. Sed nomine tua da gloria. The glory goes to you, to your holy name, and not to me. This is the correct understanding. It's not our credit, whatever we do. It's Krishna's credit. Another comment? Another? We're
Yes, Moray Gupta Prabhu says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, the workings of the material world are variously attributed to Krishna, Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, and Brahma. Could you clarify the reasons for this?
Durga, Brahma, everyone that, who are those people? The Elon Musk and this one and that one, the great industrialists, the great inventors, the great artists, they get the credit. He did this, he did that, he did this, he invented this, he pioneered that. And then higher up, it finally goes to Brahma, to Vishnu, to Shiva. So the contributions of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are not negligible. Lord Brahma engineers the whole universe. You know, they're big engineering companies. They get paid billions for their construction projects. Who is that? Bechtel. Huge project. So, but their projects are nothing to create the Hoover Dam or something. It's nothing compared to creating a planet, or to say nothing of the whole universe. So Brahma is glorified for all that he accomplishes. In third canto, we'll see more and more of what Brahma is able to do. It's substantial, it's impressive. It's astonishing. And Lord Shiva is able to destroy the whole thing. That's a sort of different mode. We appreciate more creativity. To smash something is not such a, what should we say? It's not constructive, it's destructive. And destruction is more indicative of ignorance, whereas construction is a sign of passion. But passion or ignorance, they're both big. To destroy an entire universe, you know, we destroy a missile installation and we think, yay, big deal. But we blow down a building, and that's a great thing. But Lord Shiva destroys all the worlds. So how powerful he is. So we don't deny the credit. They say give credit where credit is due. So Brahma, Shiva, and below them, other living entities. They all have some capability. They all do something. But all of that reflects the glory of Krishna. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimad virjitameva va tattareva avagachatvam amasatejam sasambhava. In the 10th chapter, whatever you see that's beautiful or wonderful, powerful, it's all just an emanation or a sample of my power. So where the Mayavadi is ultimate, everything is Maya, everything is Maya. It's all illusion. So in that sense, they deny everything. It's all Maya. So we're different, we appreciate it. Maya is wonderful. Mama Maya is Krishna's energy. And the living entities, it's wonderful what they're able to do. But it's all dependent on Krishna. It's all dependent on Krishna. There's some more comments. Could you, yeah?
Sure. Prabin Prabhu says, argument. The living entity is under the control of Maya. You may call it Mahamaya or Yoga Maya. Krishna is under the control of Yogamaya, and he shows the material activities of sleeping and eating. You cannot be the controller and be under the control of Maya. If you agree he is under the control of Yogamaya, he cannot be supreme. Brahman is never under the control of Maya. Even if you think Krishna is supreme, then we are also supreme, since we are also under the control of Maya like Krishna.
But you have no power. What is that? Chayeva yasya bhuvanani viparti durga. It's chamarupa api yasya cheshtatesa. Material energy is working under his, according to his desire. Vayajya kshena prakriti suyate sacharat. All the energies are working under Krishna's direction. Parasya shakti vividhaiva shriyate. Swabhavaki. They're working automatically, but it's jhana-rupa, according to his desire. So if Krishna is coming under the influence of his internal energy, it means he's coming under the influence of himself. Swaraj, he's self-independent. If it seems that Krishna is coming under the influence of Yogamaya, or that it's coming under the influence of Yashodama, or the gopis, or the coward boy, he's coming under the influence of his own energy, by his own will. That's love. The Prabhupada told the story of the prime minister who was keeping his son on his back and playing like a horse for the boy. So it doesn't mean that the child has now become more powerful than the prime minister of Great Britain. But it means that the prime minister, out of love, takes a particular role. That doesn't make him less, that makes him more. So Krishna, for the sake of loving dealings, tadanugrahaya, by his mercy, accepts these various roles, but he never comes under the influence of anything outside himself, because there is nothing outside himself. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Krishna. Even if you think he comes under the external energy is also nothing but himself. What is that? Sarva Kalavidam Brahma, there's nothing other than Krishna. So, and Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchidas, there's nothing higher than Krishna. So Krishna never comes under the influence of anything other than himself. But we can't say that. I'm here in the material world by my own choice. I just broke my leg as my pastime. I just got smashed by a car by my own arrangement. No, you're a bluffer, cheater. You got smashed by a car because of your helpless. Prakritera avasham prakritera avasham. You're helpless. You're being tossed by the waves of the material energy, and you're saying, "This is all my pastime." You're a nonsense rascal. Krishna's not in that situation. Whatever he's doing is actually under his control. And whatever we're doing is under someone else's control. And then Murari had something more.
There's two more. Prabhu had a footnote to that last one. He says the Purusha avatars come from Brahman under the control of Maya for the purpose of creating the universe?
Not under the control of Maya. How can they come under the control of Maya? Maya emanates from them. There's sa aikshata, I glanced over the material nature. Till the Lord glances over material nature, Maya is not active. First the Lord glances, then Maya becomes active. So how can the Lord be under the control of an energy that's not yet active? The Lord is the first principle. And the Maya or material nature is secondary, subordinate, or dependent. When he glances, it's like a king, he glances at someone, and the person knows what to do. All right, now I have to do this, now I have to do that. Just by his glance, he's so powerful. Hiranyakashipu, he just raised his eyebrows, so the demigods knew, okay, we have to back off. So sometimes a glance has power. The Lord's glance has so much power that it puts the whole material energy into action, impregnates the material nature of the living entity. So to try to make that Lord seem to act as a consequence of material nature is to, as Prabhupada said, get everything backwards. Something else.
Haridas Prabhu says, Jai Maharaj, if creation is more grand or valued, why is the worship of Shiva apparently greater than that of Sri Brahma?
People are more, so they're more inclined to worship Lord Shiva.
Also, Brahma was cursed.
And Brahma was cursed by his wife not to get any worship, so he only gets worshipped in Pushkar, no place else. Hare Krishna. All right, let's have a little kirtan. Yeah, you can.
Well, I was waiting for someone else.
No one else is coming forward, so you're elected.
Radhe has received the instructive glance of Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Om Vishnupad Panaman Sukari Prajukacharya Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kunigiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, and thank you everyone for being here. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayādvaita Maharaj Ki Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, bless you, Gurudev.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.